Just turn around for me, okay? I'm trying to ask help.
What's good, YouTube family? It's Kichi, and we are back with another reaction video. And today we are going to get into a brother getting his mentally ill sister pregnant, y'all. A brother and a sister doing stuff that we all know brothers and sisters are not supposed to be doing. All right, so we're going to jump into that video right now. Appreciate y'all for clicking on this video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to this video if you haven't. Shout out to the new subscribers. I appreciate y'all for subscribing to this video. And without further ado, we're going to jump straight into this reaction. Let's go.
Their intellectually disabled daughter.
The victim recently gave birth. The police investigation revealing the alleged abuser to be the victim's brother.
Victim's brother is being held on one count of incest. Her parents were taken into custody for child neglect. They have since posted bail and were released.
Welcome to Explore Crimes. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon for more videos.
Imagine hearing about a family so broken, so twisted, that they allowed something so disturbing to happen right under their own roof. A family where betrayal, abuse, and neglect weren't just present, they were covered up. This is the shocking and heartbreaking story of Nathaniel Molden Jr., his intellectually disabled 18-year-old sister, and their parents, Nathaniel Molden Sr. and Tamika Molden, who knew about the abuse and did nothing to stop it.
Wow, y'all.
This isn't just another story of family dysfunction. It's a story that will leave you shaking your head, wondering how such
Hey, I'm already shaking my head. We 1 minute into the video, y'all.
evil could take place in a home meant to protect a vulnerable young woman. It all started when the Oklahoma Department of Human Services, DHS, received a tip about a young woman with an intellectual disability who had just given birth. The girl was only 18 years old, and her mental capacity was significantly lower than that of her peers. Given her condition, DHS officials became immediately concerned and wanted to find out who the father of the baby was. When investigators questioned the girl and her mother, Tamika Molden, they claimed that a boyfriend was the father.
Oh no, so they lying about it? Oh yeah, this is a cover-up. This is for sure a cover-up.
But something about their story didn't add up. How could a severely intellectually disabled teenager with an IQ so low she could barely fend for herself have a secret boyfriend that no one knew about? Investigators knew they weren't getting the whole truth, and they dug deeper. What they uncovered was far worse than they could have ever imagined. To get to the bottom of things, investigators collected DNA samples from all the male members of the household. The results, analyzed by the Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation, revealed something horrifying. The baby's father wasn't a boyfriend. The baby's father was her own brother, 19-year-old Nathaniel Molden Jr.
Look at this dude. Look at this dude, y'all. Family, look at this dude. He looked like he be on all type of timing that ain't right.
The DNA results shocked everyone, but the investigation didn't stop there. It soon became clear that this wasn't a one-time incident. It was a pattern of abuse that had gone on for years. Even more disturbing, Nathaniel Jr. admitted to the police that he had been sexually abusing his sister for at least 2 years before she became pregnant. He also told them something that made the whole situation even worse. His parents knew about it.
Dog, what type of parent are you?
According to court documents, the parents, Nathaniel Sr. and Tamika, had caught their son abusing their daughter multiple times. Instead of reporting it or stepping in to protect their vulnerable child, they simply punished their children and pretended it never happened. They turned a blind eye to the abuse, hoping that ignoring it would make the problem go away. But abuse doesn't just disappear, it escalates.
How do you just turn your eye to your kids, your adult kids at this point? Like, you can't turn the eye to that. We got to talk about that. We got to come together as a family. We got to sit down. We got to go to counseling. We got to talk.
Negligence allowed their son to continue abusing his sister, leading to her eventual pregnancy. Even when their daughter gave birth, they tried to cover it up by claiming a non-existent boyfriend was responsible. But the DNA didn't lie, and soon the horrifying truth came to light. If that wasn't enough, investigators also suspected that Nathaniel Sr., the father, might have been involved in the abuse. Their suspicions grew after they searched his phone and found disturbing internet searches, including queries like, how to corrupt a DNA test And do siblings share the same DNA?
Nigga.
This led them to believe that he might have either been trying to tamper with the investigation or had something more sinister to hide.
Wow.
Although the DNA results ultimately confirmed that the brother was the baby's father, the fact that the father was actively searching for ways to manipulate the outcome raised serious red flags. Was he trying to protect his son, or was he afraid of being implicated himself?
Right.
With the evidence in hand, the police acted swiftly. Nathaniel Jr. was arrested and charged with incest, while his parents were both charged with child neglect for failing to protect their daughter.
Charge them too. Yes, they are totally responsible for not protecting that child, especially if she has a mental disability. It is totally y'all job to protect her, disability or not.
Body camera footage of their arrests shows the police arriving at their home and taking them into custody one by one. Both parents managed to post bail and were released shortly after their arrest, but their son remains in jail, unable to pay his $25,000 bond.
Stop! Stop! No, just relax. Stop! Just relax, Nathaniel.
Police took 3 family members into custody from their home in the village this week.
You're Tamika, right?
Oh, that's the mom.
Ow! Just turn around for me, okay? I'm trying to ask help.
When DHS notified officers, an intellectually disabled 18-year-old gave birth. Authorities could not determine who fathered the child. The teen and her mother, Tamika Molden, claimed a boyfriend was the baby's father. Police say the victim also told a DHS worker her father, Nathaniel Molden Sr., was the father.
See, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking they both was abusing her. And that's crazy.
Collected both DNA from the male members of the household, and it was confirmed through DNA testing at the OSPI to match the brother.
Court documents indicate Nathaniel Molden Jr. admitted to having inappropriate contact with his sister 2 years prior to the birth of the baby. Molden says he and his sister have been caught by their parents and punished. Police say the Moldens never reported to authorities before or after their daughter became pregnant. And police say they initially suspected the father to be the abuser. Court documents say the father searched how to corrupt a DNA test and if siblings have the same DNA.
Meanwhile, the young mother and her baby have been placed in the custody of DHS, where they are now hopefully receiving the care and protection they need. This story is more than just a shocking headline. It's a tragic example of how vulnerable individuals can be failed by the very people who are supposed to love and protect them. The 18-year-old girl in this case didn't just suffer abuse at the hands of her brother. She was let down by her parents, who knew what was happening and did nothing to stop it. What's even more heartbreaking is that this young woman likely had no way to understand what was happening to her. With her intellectual disability, she relied on her parents to protect her, to stand up for her when she couldn't stand up for herself. Instead, they allowed the abuse to continue, prioritizing their family's reputation over their daughter's safety and well-being. As news of the case spread, people were outraged. Many couldn't understand how a family could let something so terrible happen, and worse, how they could try to cover it up. Comments flooded social media, with people expressing disgust and disbelief. How could parents allow this? They should never be let out of jail. This poor girl didn't stand a chance in that house. The whole family needs to be locked up forever. Sickening.
All my thoughts.
The public's reaction was clear. This wasn't just a crime. It was a complete failure of parental responsibility and basic human decency. The case of Nathaniel Molden Jr., his sister, and their parents is now in the hands of the legal system. As the investigation continues, many are calling for harsh punishment for all 3 family members. While the brother faces an incest charge, the parents are being held accountable for neglecting their duty to protect their child. This story is a stark reminder that abuse can happen anywhere, even in homes that seem normal from the outside. It highlights the importance of speaking up when something feels wrong and ensuring that the most vulnerable among us are protected. No one can undo what happened to this young woman, but thanks to the efforts of DHS and law enforcement, She and her baby are now in a safer place. Hopefully, they can begin to heal and move
That's
forward,
crazy.
far away from the toxic environment they once called home.
Wow.
If there's one takeaway from this heartbreaking case, it's this. When we see something wrong, we can't stay silent. Whether it's a neighbor, a friend, or even a stranger, we all have a responsibility to protect those who can't protect themselves.
Thanks.
Man, this was such a crazy story. The parents, y'all, I'm totally in agreement with. The parents knew about it. They knew that it was going on. They tried to hide it, cover it up. I don't know what they tried to do, but they didn't do enough, obviously. In my opinion, separation, maybe separating him, getting him completely away from her. Obviously, he's abusing her. She's mentally disabled. She don't really know what's going on. He knows exactly what's going on. So why not remove him? You know what I'm saying? Get him out of there. Get him away from her. Him being around her is not safe. And they didn't do that, y'all. It sounded like they tried to like cover it up. I don't know what type of punishment they did, but obviously the punishment wasn't enough. So I'm in total agreement with punish the parents. Yes, lock them up, charge them, because y'all was trying to cover up something that y'all knew was going on. Y'all wasn't really trying to fix the situation for real. So man, the only people that really lose in this situation, man, is obviously the little girl, the baby. They went to a safer location, but this type of things is life changing. You gotta think about it. Like, they produced a baby out of this situation. There's a child who has like a father and an uncle and some whole other, it's just a lot. So it's gonna be one of those situations, y'all, that probably affect that child for the rest of that child's life. Real talk. It's probably gonna affect that child for the rest of that child's life. Her too, the mother too. Everybody's gonna be affected. Everybody, the whole family, man. So it's just one of those situations, y'all. But like I always say, man, we're gonna be jumping into these crazy stories, so it do get crazier. So make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe to this channel. Make sure y'all hit the bell notification too if you already subscribed, so as soon as I post, you can jump straight to it, y'all, and we can jump straight into it. All right, appreciate y'all so much for clicking on this video, and like always, until next time, I'm out.